What's happening, guys? We are back with another video. We're going to talk about how to stay focused despite anything that could be pushing you around and your setbacks today. You haven't booked in a coaching call yet and helped jump on a call with us to help you increase your revenue, whether it be online or offline, by 10K a month in the next 90 days. Click the link on this page and book a call, guys, because I want to help you out. But talking today, I want to talk about this anti-fragile mentality. So there's two different mentalities you have. You have fragile mentality when something happens to you, when a setback, an obstacle, a threat happens. You are fragile, you break, you sit in the corner, woe is me. You have anti-fragile mentality, which is like when something happens to you, when you're anti-fragile, well, fragile means something happens, you break. Anti-fragile, you get stronger because you learn something. You understand the obstacle is an opportunity to grow in some way. It might be hard at the time, but you're going to grow some skills and you're going to get past that obstacle. So the first thing I want to talk about is challenges and threats and how you see it, because psychologists essentially tell us that when the wind kicks up in our face, when there's a challenge straight in front of us, we can perceive it in two ways. We can see it and it could bring the best out of us, or we can see it and it's going to crush you, right? You can see it as, this is going to crush me. And all of a sudden we can see it as a threat. Now, depending on how we see it is depending on how we physiologically respond. And, that would push us into a positive or a negative state, and positive or negative states push you into a cascade of other decisions that can completely hold you back. So you need to understand that it's not thinking that nothing's ever going to happen to you. Okay, that's not what it's all about. But you're going to have true confidence in yourself and understand that you have an intense trust that no matter what happens to you, that you have the ability to step up and you are anti-fragile, and that every challenge is there for you to continue to climb over, to grow, to become on who you're supposed to be on this earth. It's not a threat. Because if we see it as a threat, then we can't go creative, we can't get curious, we stop asking great questions to overcome it. So guys, start seeing it as challenges. Start actually voicing it and verbalizing it differently. It's not a threat. Don't say, why is this happening to me? You have to understand we can start this with small things, right? And we can essentially grow into bigger and bigger things. So you have to start seeing everything as challenges. And that's the first thing I want you to start talking about differently, using different vocabulary. Next thing is emotional stamina. I think we all need to grow our emotional stamina as well, because if you want to be anti-fragile, you have to increase your emotional stamina. It means you have protocols that you fall back to. And there's these fundamentals that you live by on a daily basis that keep you online. Remember, we're talking our state management, positive, negative state, optimal choices, suboptimal choices. So if we have emotional stamina and we have these protocols, which is default, and when times get tough, you know what you need to be doing to move forward. So ask yourself, what happens when life knocks you around? Do you have a voice inside your head and it's like, why is this happening to me? I don't want to do this. I deserve better than this. If you do this and you have this complaint voice, and then we can go, it's essentially we're becoming a victim, right? And then we can start to justify our poor actions. But if we do the opposite of this victim mentality, and we don't go, hey, woe is me, we do the exact opposite. We don't press snooze on the alarm. We don't eat food that's going to make us feel like shit. I know this is a business course, guys, but our protocols need to be around our energy, okay? Because your energy optimization is going to affect your relationships, and it's also going to affect your business. And in the hardest of times, when you have obstacles coming at you, we default into a less energy version of ourselves. So we don't wake up at the right time, we stop training as much, we eat shit food, or we medicate with alcohol, whatever we're doing, which then what happens is we get even worse at business, and we can't focus as much, and we can't do what we need to do when we say we're going to do it. So I want you to make fundamentals for your protocols, and these fundamentals are around your energy and your health. Because if you can do that, then you can be resilient and anti-fragile in the other areas of your life. I don't want you to have justifications, blames, and excuses. So, if you don't have protocols that what do you do when you're at your best? These are your protocols. It's like these are your must-dos every single day. Now, for me, I have protocols I default back to when I'm walking through shit, and we always do it. So for me, it's like make sure I get 7 hours sleep a night. Make sure I have a curfew at night. I go to bed at the same time every night. Make sure I hit my nutrition, okay? Especially when times are tough, make sure I hit my nutrition. I get a 20-minute workout in every single day because it makes me feel better, all right? Sweating, moving, whatever we're doing. Meditate every single day. Have a cold shower in the mornings. Like, I do it because, one, a little bit of mental toughness. Two, when I get out of a cold shower in the morning, I get warm to start with and I turn it cold. When I get out of a cold shower, like 3 minutes of cold, I feel unstoppable. I feel great. I want to do things that make me feel great when I'm faced with challenges. All right, so I feel like I'm unstoppable getting out of it. I wake up at set time every single morning and I get some knowledge in because then I can contribute. Normally when shit hits the fan, we stop educating ourselves, right? That's when we should be educating ourselves even more, because if we grow, we can contribute. I get about 8,000 steps a day. So that's my default protocols I fall back to. Now, the things I do when I know I feel my best. So when life knocks me around, the worst thing that can happen is I do these things, I maintain my energy, and it maintains a positive mental attitude, and I can keep moving forward. And the thing you could look at is like, what's the one thing that I do that makes me feel good, and what's the one thing I shouldn't do that pulls me away even further? And if you can just have those two things, and you don't do the thing that pulls you down, you do the one thing that pulls you forward, then that's going to help you with your emotional stamina to become unstoppable and stay anti-fragile in the face of challenges. The last thing is being the victim or the hero of your story. The anti-fragile person is the hero, the fragile person is the victim. When these things do happen to you, if you start saying, why me, all the rest of it, that is what victim mentality is, okay? You don't have to like every situation, okay? But you do have to live in it, and you can either sit in the situation, but if nothing changes, nothing changes. So it's time to be the hero and step out moment to moment. You don't say, why me? You say, what's next? It's like, what's next? And you ask yourself this as the hero, and you step into the most powerful version of you. And you can't change the situation, but you do have control on how you react to the situation. And you don't have to wait for big things to be the hero. It doesn't have to be a complete lockdown of your business or anything like that. It's being the hero moment to moment. It could be cutting off in traffic. It could be an argument with your partner. You just want to be the hero. Step into the hero's version of you. What choice do they make? Do they fight back with their partner, or they just shut it down? They move on, right? We don't want to play the victim in any aspect of our life. We want to play the hero, and we play the hero moment to moment. And if you keep doing it on the small scenarios, when the big scenarios happen, you are unstoppable again, guys. So they're both choices. You can choose to be the victim, or you can choose to be the hero. And they take you down two different pathways in life. So when you're looking at this and you're choosing to be the hero, you can ask yourself these questions. It's like, you need to be present in the moment to be the hero, because you need to be consciously aware of things that push you into victim mentality. You also need to have control over your state. Understand emotional stamina before we talked about that, and becoming anti-fragile. You need to essentially expand the gap between stimulus and response, as Viktor Frankl would say. And in that moment, take a breath and choose our own way. Choose the way that is the best version of you. And once you've taken response ability, your ability to respond as the hero, that's responsibility, then you choose the best version of you. And then once you've done that, you can recommit that and reaffirm that. It's like, just like me, I did that. And you're reaffirming that, and you move forward, and you move forward, and this is how mental toughness is born. So for yourself, if you want to be anti-fragile instead of being fragile, and if you want to be the hero of your story, and if you want to be able to push through any setback that comes your way, it's doing these three things. So guys, again, book a call. Let's jump on a call. Help you get 10K into your business in the next 90 days. Click the link on this page, and that is how to stay focused through setbacks.